Happening now, we look at changes coming to a Jamestown school. And a popular fair has returned to Chautauqua County. Plus, a locally famous restaurant is back. On wheels.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Bronson Rasmussen. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, 2 individuals wound up stranded due to flipped kayaks Tuesday. Chautauqua County deputies responded to a distress call about kayakers just off the Cedar Cliffs on Lake Erie at about 4:10 p.m. on July 18th. Once deputies got to the scene, they were able to rescue both kayakers unharmed from the water and return them safely to shore. While Jamestown Public Schools are planning to reopen Rogers Elementary School as an innovation center. Now, due to enrollment issues, Rogers Elementary School closed their doors to students in 2014. The 2023-2024 school year will be the first phase in reopening the academic building for regular student use. Beginning in September, Rogers School will temporarily host 3 classrooms for Fletcher Elementary School during the school year, while construction takes place. Now the next year, Phase 2 will begin, including career and technical education programming for students of all ages. This program will allow students to interact with local industry professionals, giving school-age children the opportunity to get an insight into possible careers.
One of the things that we know about education is that you can't walk into a group of seniors and say, hey, have you ever heard about biomechanical engineering? Hey, have you ever heard about being an electrician? And have them say, yes, and then walk into a job 3 months later. What we have to do is we have to start younger. So when kids are in late elementary school, getting exposure to careers, seeing people who are doing the work, maybe engaging with kids who are already experimenting with some of those work experiences. As they get into middle school, they start taking courses that are generalist enough around Project Lead the Way, which are around careers and engineering and manufacturing, so that they can begin to think about what pathway they might want to follow.
At the Jamestown High School, a similar program is currently being held with local aviation companies, teaching high schoolers how to fix, coordinate, and even fly aircrafts. Now the Chautauqua County Fair is returning to Dunkirk this summer, coming in with a bang. Our Hannah Crosley has more.
From Tuesday, July 18th through Sunday, July 23rd, the fair will be open and hosting a slew of fun amusement park rides, nightly grandstand events, classic fair food, and cute show animals.
Big presents, as always. We always look at this fair, we always divvy it up into thirds. A third of it is the 4-H and the animals, a third is the midway, and a third at the grandstand events. So we've got something for everybody. Nobody should go home disappointed.
Tickets for the fair and for major events, such as the Demolition Derby and Monster Truck Show, are available on the Chautauqua County Fair website and at the fairgrounds. The fair, which has been a major local event for more than 140 years, promotes agriculture and builds a sense of community within Chautauqua County. Hannah Crosley, WNY News Now.
In other news, a long-lost Mexican restaurant celebrated Taco Tuesday this week by hitting the streets in a new food truck to distribute their beloved food and reminisce with some familiar faces. Now co-owners of Taco Hut, Rick Faulkner and Amber Mason, both have deep ties to the original restaurant and are seemingly thrilled to bring a Jamestown staple back to life. Our Alyssa Wright has more.
Really, it's been a complicated couple years, and getting the food truck was, trying to make a good out of a bad situation. So we're just trying to move forward the best way that we possibly can and make some progress, and we'll see where the future takes us.
The menu was a hit with patrons and will make an appearance once more later in the week.
Today, we're doing the same menu that we're going to be doing on Friday night at the Whirlybird, so this is just a practice run for us. We're doing hard shell tacos. You can get those with just meat, cheese, and lettuce. Or you can add the works, which is tomatoes, onions, black olives, and banana peppers. We also have sour cream and Mexican ranch, and we're doing Mexican fries today.
The pair recognize that the original atmosphere is difficult to recreate. However, they're doing their best to bring that feeling back.
That's a tribute to the Taco Hut. That is the front door on the Taco Hut, and that is the address. And we are actually Backdoor Burritos LLC is the name of our company.
Along with the original owner, Jim Mason, the restaurant's first male staff member, Rick Faulkner, and the first waitress, the establishment's first customer also made an appearance to relive the moment 50 years later.
For our first customer, we have Pete Volp, and he was my dad's very first customer back in 1972 when he first opened the restaurant. He was a fireman. He came over to Taco Hut, and he ordered a taco, is what he said. He would have a taco, and then my dad corrected him and said it was a taco, and
He still said, no, it's a taco.
It feels great. I've been a taco hunter all my life, and I'm still a taco hunter.
Alyssa Wright, WNY News Now.
Now, Taco Hut did end up closing 3 years ago. The mobile Taco Hut will make a pit stop at the Whirlybird Festival this upcoming Friday to serve delicious tacos and bring smiles to many hungry faces. While switching gears a little bit, we'll get a check for our first weather forecast with Chief Forecaster Andrew Stevenson, and you look to be on an empty wall over there.
Yes, technical difficulties here. Forgot to...
Well, in the meantime, while we have this blank screen, what can you tell everyone about what we're seeing outside right now?
It's sunny out there right now. It should be up now. Yep, I see it. Let me bring it back up. You know, I forgot to play the presentation to have it. Okay. Should be back up and running now. Yeah, there we go. You know, technical difficulties. All right, first defense Doppler radar right now. Always quiet on first defense Doppler radar. Just a couple of clouds out there. Should be a beautiful day out there, especially a beautiful day for any outdoor activities and maybe even to get to the Chautauqua County Fair. Or maybe it's a beautiful day to get out there on the lake out there today. Current temperature, water temperature off of Buffalo, and I went too fast there. Let me go back here. Current water temperature off of Buffalo, 74 degrees, and current water temperature off of Erie, Pennsylvania, 75 degrees. So if you're going out in Lake Erie today, should be beautiful out there. Getting out on the boat. Light winds with waves 1 foot or less. Taking a look at the almanac, we made it to a high of 74 degrees yesterday. Our low was 61 in the city of Jamestown. And the records for today, record high 95 set back in 1988. The record low of 43 set back in 1978. So here's your first defense weather forecast for the rest of the afternoon out there. Partly to mostly sunny skies. Again, a beautiful day for any outdoor activities. The smoke is gone. The dew points are low, so get outside and enjoy it because more rain is on the way tomorrow and Friday. Highs today will range from the lower 70s at the Lake Erie shoreline to the mid to upper 70s across inland locations with a north wind around 5 miles per hour. I'll tell you about how much rain is on the way coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Andrew, we'll see you then. As WNY News Now continues, we look at the aftermath of flooding in New York and Pennsylvania. Later, we hear from former President Donald Trump and how he's being probed by multiple lawsuits. Stay with us, as WNY News Now will be right back.
Catch your first defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
3-on-3 basketball returns to Jamestown, New York this summer. Collaborative Children's Solutions and partners are hosting a Gus Macker tournament August 19th and 20th in Brooklyn Square. The streets will be packed with a festival atmosphere, bringing the youngest of our Macromites up to the adult players who compete for the top prize in their divisions. Register online at Macker.com before July 31st. The Jamestown Macker will also include some specialty competitions, making it one of the best community events of the year.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
New York Governor Kathy Hochul announced new financial assistance for residents recovering from last week's historic floods. Now the state of New York is focusing particularly on the extensive damage to homes in Orange County. Now homeowners say the assistance is deeply needed for what they expect will be a long recovery. Ben Nandy has more.
The whole property line is eroded.
Neighbors on Wyant Terrace in Highland Falls tell me they are relieved to hear about Governor Kathy Hochul's new $3 million state fund to immediately help repair storm-damaged homes in Orange County. Gail Margolin plans to apply for some of it. Homeowners can receive as much as $50,000 for repairs. Margolin has some idea of how she'd use it.
This is all like sewage contamination. My husband lost all his band equipment.
Without the state's lifeline, Margolin and her neighbors may have to wait weeks, maybe months, to learn if they're eligible for aid through the Federal Emergency Management Agency. Margolin is finding pieces of her property all around the neighborhood.
It's 30 feet long wooden bridge, and now it's here. We just found it yesterday.
Governor Hochul and some local elected officials returned to Sacred Heart of Jesus Covenant School Tuesday to announce the repair program. FEMA's already been assessing damage to local infrastructure like roads and pipes. Those repairs are already underway, and the governor expects those costs to be reimbursed by FEMA.
What about the homeowners? Who's taking care of them? And I doubt that most people have enough money in their bank account to cover unanticipated damage.
State emergency management officials say they and reps from FEMA just started assessing damage to private homes. And after that, some homeowners may find they don't qualify for federal aid. Hochul says that's why this new state fund is so necessary.
New York Small Business Administration also is examining the damage and plans to help business owners rebuild. That assistance would likely come in forms of low-interest loans. While continuing coverage, the search for two small children swept away in flash floodwaters intensifying in Pennsylvania. The 2-year-old and 9-month-old have been missing since Saturday, when the car that they were in was hit by floodwaters in Bucks County. Their mother was also killed. Linda Weed has more.
It's been 3 full days of searching and still no sign of a missing brother and sister, but the efforts to bring them home are not slowing.
Ground search, water search, sonar, river, canine, cadavers. We have searched the entire flood zone more than a dozen times with the assets that I had just mentioned.
Upper Makefield Township Fire Chief Tim Brewer said during a news conference Tuesday the rescue teams have covered about 117 acres in the search for Matilda Maddie Shields and her baby brother Conrad.
We tracked an area that's 1.5 miles long, and the tracking logs are over 160 miles, meaning that we have backtracked several times.
The 2-year-old and 9-month-old have been missing since Saturday when the car they were in was hit by floodwaters on Washington Crossing Road. Their mother, 32-year-old Katie Seeley of South Carolina, was killed.
It involved 11 cars that resulted in 5 dead.
The other 3 family members in the car, the kid's dad, 4-year-old brother, and grandmother managed to escape safely. Tuesday's search for the children continues with plans to change course Wednesday.
If today concludes with no discoveries, the focus of the search will shift from a land-based and creek-based to a dive rescue operation or a search and rescue operation.
Brewer thanks everyone for their continued support in this time of crisis, but does ask that you stay away from the flood zone.
We still have assets operating in the area and will continue to do so, and until we find what we're looking for, which obviously are our 2 missing angels.
Now the community plans to come together for a candlelight vigil Thursday night. In other news, former President Donald Trump says that Counsel Jack Smith told him he is a target of a criminal probe into efforts to overturn the 2020 election. It's a sign Trump may soon be charged by the special counsel. In his Truth Social post, Trump said he was given 4 days to report to the grand jury. Individuals given a target letter typically get the chance to appear before a grand jury to defend themselves, before charges are brought. It is unlikely Trump will choose to appear. Two sources confirmed Trump's attorneys got the target letter on Sunday. Now, he got a target letter earlier this year from Smith before being indicted into the investigation into the mishandling of classified documents. The grand jury investigating 2020 election interference is meeting Tuesday at the federal courthouse in Washington, D.C. Now, a spokesperson for the special counsel declined to comment. Well, today is National Hot Dog Day. Whether you call it a Frankfurter, a Wiener, or a Red Hot, a hot dog by any other name is still delicious. The third Wednesday in July is National Hot Dog Day, a time to celebrate one of America's best-loved snacks. National Hot Dog Day was cooked up by the National Hot and Sausage Council back in 1991. Now there's still debate on whether you can call it a sandwich or whether or not ketchup belongs as a topping. But however you enjoy it, be sure to share your favorite version on social media with the hashtag National Hot Dog Day. While coming up, the trademark for Taco Tuesday has finally been lifted. And later, we hear on the investigation into a famous rapper's death. But first, we return with a look at our full weather forecast.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
I'm a survivor.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense weather.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. Currently downtown Jamestown, partly sunny skies over downtown. Current temperature at Jamestown Airport 74 degrees with a north wind of 5 miles per hour, and the dew point is at 56, so it's feeling quite comfortable out there. So enjoy the nice weather today because we have more showers and thunderstorms on the way tomorrow. The NOAA Storm Prediction Center does continue with a marginal risk for severe storms later tomorrow afternoon and the evening, mainly for northwestern Pennsylvania, including Erie and Crawford County, and a small sliver of Chautauqua County, with the rest of the region just under a general thunderstorm risk. Now, as a slow-moving low-pressure system moves across the region tomorrow and Friday, a few storms could be on the stronger side with some gusty winds and some heavy rain. Speaking of heavy rain, the Weather Prediction Center does have the entire region across western New York under a marginal risk to see some flash flooding, and then portions of northwestern Pennsylvania are under a slight risk. Now, if you're in the marginal risk area, western New York, there's a 5% chance that rain may exceed flash flood guidance within 25 miles of any location, and the slight risk area, rainfall may exceed flash flood guidance with 15% chance that it would exceed flash flood guidance within 25 miles of any location. Now, the storms will be moving tomorrow afternoon and evening, but there's a lot of moisture in the air, so they could contain some heavy downpours. Now, don't cancel your plans tomorrow. Most of the day tomorrow will be dry. It's the later afternoon and evening hours where where we will get into some showers and thunderstorms. Here's what's happening across the northeast right now. High pressure keeping us mainly dry across the region today, but as I said, a low pressure system will be moving across the region later tomorrow and Friday, and it's going to bring some more showers and storms to the region. So let's time it out on future scan. Through the rest of the afternoon out there today, partly to mostly sunny skies. Shouldn't have any weather hassles to contend with today. We'll stay dry through the night tonight, partly to mainly clear skies through the night tonight, and we'll start the day off. Most of the day, as I said, will be mainly dry tomorrow with partly sunny skies, but as that system begins to near the area, we'll get into some showers and thunderstorms later tomorrow afternoon, especially tomorrow evening, and a few of those storms could contain some heavy rains and some gusty winds. And then on Friday, the eventual cold front will move through the region, and we'll keep the showers and thunderstorms in the forecast through at least the first half of Friday. So here's your forecast for tonight. Partly cloudy to mainly clear skies overnight. Another comfortable night for sleeping. Lows tonight will range from the lower to mid 50s across inland locations to near 60 at the Lake Erie shoreline with calm winds. So another comfortable night for sleeping out there. And now the next 7 days powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. So we got the late afternoon showers and storms tomorrow. A few showers and storms for Friday. Highs tomorrow will be a little bit warmer in the lower 80s. Back down to the lower 70s on Friday as that cold front moves to the region. And outside of a stray shower on Saturday, most of the weekend is looking pretty dry with temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, close to 80. And we'll start next week off dry as well, and then we'll bring in a few more showers by next Tuesday.
All right, Andrew, thank you very much. Now for some headlines from across the nation. A regional chain's fight to keep the Taco Tuesday trademark has ended. Now Taco John's announced Tuesday that it's ending its fight because it doesn't want to pay the legal fees that come with facing off against Taco Bell. Now in May, Taco Bell filed a petition with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office to cancel the trademark owned by rival Taco John's for 34 years. Taco Bell claimed the commonly used phrase should be freely available to all who make, sell, eat, and celebrate tacos. As a result of the trademark being abandoned, Taco John's CEO says the chain is donating $40,000 to the Children of Restaurant Employees, a nonprofit organization that helps restaurant workers with children by providing financial relief when facing a life-altering health crisis, injury, death, or natural disaster. While the investigation into the death of rapper Tupac is still active, Las Vegas police served a search warrant in the case Monday. It's not known exactly where that took place. Now, Tupac was shot multiple times in 1996 when leaving a boxing match at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. He was in a car when former Death Row Records CEO Suge Knight at the time. Authorities said back then they believed that Tupac was the intended target of the shooting, but the case was never solved. While we are learning more details about the American soldier U.S. officials, the White House says, will fully cross the demilitarized zone into North Korea, where he is now detained. On the same day, there are reports from Japan that North Korea may have launched 2 suspected short-range missiles. Now, Emily Schmidt reports on what we're learning about this area, and now under sharpened international scrutiny.
The U.S. Army says Private Travis King is the soldier who on Tuesday crossed into North Korea, and by the end of the day was the topic of clearly coordinated Washington media briefings.
I'm a U.S. soldier on a private JSA orientation tour crossed willfully and without authorization.
Willfully and without authorization crossed into North Korea.
Willfully and without authorization crossed the military demarcation line. We believe that he is in the BRK custody.
An Army official tells CNN King was going to be administratively separated from the Army after facing disciplinary action for assault. He was escorted to a South Korean airport to go back to the U.S., but when the escort could not go through customs with him, King was able to leave the airport. That's according to a U.S. defense official.
In terms of my concerns, I'm absolutely foremost concerned about the welfare of our troops.
In 2016, American student Otto Warmbier, who had traveled to North Korea for a trip, was accused of stealing a political poster sentenced to 15 years of hard labor. He was released the next year on humanitarian grounds, but died shortly after returning to the U.S. Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley says North Korea's leader cannot be trusted.
What I will say to Biden, if you go talk to him, I can tell you what Kim's going to want. He's going to want sanctions lifted. We cannot do it.
I'm Emily Schmidt reporting.
Well, coming up next, we have a bitter goodbye and good luck for our intern here at WNY News Now.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
You are loved. You are valued. You are resilient. You got this.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides at aarp.org/caregiving.
How prepared is your family if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes! Make a plan today.
Where's your emergency?
Everyone's on their way. What happened? Your friend's not breathing. Please get my mom and dad. Oh my God!
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Thank you for joining us again with WNY News Now. And Andrew, you're not even in the shot. Where are you? Well, we're here with the whole entire team, and Hannah, our intern, you haven't really seen her much on the show, but today is her last day. Really, how's it feel now, just being here at WNY News Now and really looking at the future for you?
It was definitely a bittersweet moment. Well, leaving today is. I don't know.
Well, how do you think of the news industry? I know you've written a lot of articles for us. You haven't voiced a lot. We had you doing something today and a few times on the live show, but how's it been?
It's been enjoyable. I've definitely learned a lot as far as the writing goes. It's just been a fun time.
And really, when it comes to this, you've told us that you really enjoy the writing aspect more than the broadcast, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's true.
Really, what can you tell us about you now moving forward? What's next in your chapter?
One more semester of school and on to work from there.
And you two, you have anything to add?
I think Hannah has done a phenomenal job in her short time here, and I will miss you very much. She's really the only one that laughs at my terrible jokes, so very appreciated.
And who knows, maybe we'll see you back here again in the future sometime.
That's what happened to me. Weren't you an intern at one point too, Andrew?
Yes, I started off as a weather intern, and now I'm chief forecaster.
So you never know who will come here. Really, the revolving door that we have here at WNY News Now, and the future is always really unknown here, but we've been doing better lately, and you stuck with us through everything, just in leaving our move to this new studio. It's been probably quite the experience.
Yes.
And then you even brought me something interesting today. This little plaque with the news director axe to axe the stuff in the stories.
So inside joke for the writers here, and Hannah, of course.
So I really appreciate that, and really appreciate your work here.
Thank you.
Does that mean if call for snow tomorrow, you're going to axe the weather report because I'm calling for snow?
No weather tomorrow. You heard it here first, everyone.
It's going to snow tomorrow. Don't send angry letters. It's not going to snow.
Well, that is all the time that we have for us at WNY News Now, but we will leave you with this live look over Olean, I believe.